And we're live! Welcome to English Spot. Just so excited that you decided to join us today. Just for your information, I wanted to let you know that we are streaming simultaneously on Facebook, on Twitch, and on YouTube. So for your convenience, you can join our daily lessons from any platform that you are already connected to. So check out the links under this video description. Also check out the Twitch page because there is a schedule of daily lessons posted there. So if you are here for the first time, make sure that you are familiar with all these links so that you can interact with English Spot and use the full capacity of what we have to offer. Well, I'm just so excited. Today we're going to talk about a specific area in your writing in order to help you with your writing skills. So one thing that we're going to talk about. Well, first of all, again, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you subscribe and follow this channel and hit that bell icon so that you can get notified of any future updates. Well, today, guys, we are going to talk about something important. We're going to talk about capitalization rules. Capitalization, all right? What is capitalization? This should help you with your essay writing. Well, first of all, yes, what is capitalization? You know, unlike in many other alphabets around the world, for example, Chinese, the Korean alphabet, the Japanese, English alphabet is based on Latin script, okay? Latin script. And originally there was only one kind of letters, a set of letters, and they were all the capital letters in Latin. However, as time went on and people developed new writing tools like pens, and paper, people thought that, writing these capital letters was not very convenient. So what they did, they developed something called the lowercase letters, right? So we have the uppercase letters and the lowercase letters. So that is what English is different from other languages in that respect. It has capital letters and lowercase letters. But why is it important? Like, can't we just stick to lowercase letters and keep writing? Well, yes and no. Sure, you can do that. But every time you use things like rules such as capitalization incorrectly, what you end up doing is you're sending meta messages to your instructor, to your teacher. So when your teacher is looking at your writing, this is going to cause some problems because it's raising red flags. And since people who use English natively or they grew up in an English language environment, they don't have the problem of capitalizing words properly because they see it, they're exposed to it all the time. So what happens is that when someone is looking at your essay and they see basic errors of capitalization, then that is sending a message to them that, oh, this person doesn't know basic English rules. Well, of course, some people might realize, oh, you come from another country, another language. English is not your first language. However, you don't want that possibility that your writing might be judged just because you use capitalization incorrectly. Okay, and the most important thing today I wanted to get you to get out of today's lesson is that it's quite easy. Okay, the rules for capitalization are very easy indeed. So what we're going to do is actually look at them one by one. So let's look at rule number one, guys. Rule number one, and this one is the easiest of them all. Okay, you capitalize the first word of a sentence or a direct quotation, okay? The first word of a sentence or a direct quotation. So for example, in a sentence, what did she say? The first word is what? It's capitalized, of course. We use uppercase letter. And here, she said, roses are my favorite flowers. So what we get here is that in the beginning of this quotation, roses are capitalized. So I'm sure you already knew this rule, so this is just a review. Rule number two, guys. Rule number two. Let's get into this. Capitalize names of academic courses, but not subjects, areas of study, or majors. Okay, so capitalize names of academic courses. So if it's a name of a course, you capitalize it. But if it's just the name of a subject, you don't capitalize it. Example, I hear that Philosophy 101 is a required course for all psychology majors. Okay, so Philosophy 101 is a name of a course, so that's why you need to capitalize it. But psychology is a major and it's not needed. The capitalization is not needed. Okay, the next example is I find chemistry to be a rather challenging this semester. Okay, chemistry is just the name of a subject. We don't capitalize that. All right, ready? Rule number 3. Capitalize names of academic subjects that relate to geographic locations or languages. Okay, so if it has to do with language, particular language, or a geographic location, then we need to capitalize it. So here we go. For example, this semester, I am going to take some required American history courses and Japanese as an elective. Okay, Japanese. So notice American history. American refers to a country, right? So that's why it's capitalized. And of course, Japanese is a language. So we would capitalize it as well. But here, look at this one. Jenny is taking some Asian studies courses. Okay, her major is Asian studies. And remember, in the previous rule, we said that we don't capitalize majors. However, in this case, it's related to a continent, Asia. That's why it's capitalized. Are you guys ready for rule number 4? Let's move on. Rule number 4. Capitalize terms related to religion. So anytime you talk about religion, religious terms, things like that, you need to capitalize those terms. First of all, here's an example. The Bible is a collection of 66 books and epistles. Okay, so the word the Bible needs to be capitalized, of course, because it's a religious term. Here's another one. In Islam, the month of Ramadan changes from year to year. Okay, in this case, Islam is a name of a religion. We need to capitalize it. And then the month of Ramadan. Ramadan is, I guess it encapsulates also a holiday. And that's why we would capitalize it as well. All right, I hope that is clear. Let's move on to rule number 5. Rule number 5 is you need to capitalize professional titles when used with a person's name. So you're naming someone and you're attaching a title to that. You need to capitalize both. Here's an example. I really enjoyed Professor Patel's lecture on crustaceans. Okay. Professor Patel, because, Professor and his last name are used together. We capitalize that. It's a specific person we're referring to. However, here in the second example, we see that not many professors seem to be as passionate about their research. Okay, so here we are using professors as a general term. We're not referring to a specific person, and we are not using their name. Therefore, it is not capitalized. I hope that is going so far. Well, this is rule number 5. Are you tired yet? How are you feeling, guys? How are you feeling? Oh, that's great. How am I feeling? Wow, I feel good. That's how I'm feeling. Let's move on to rule number 6. Rule number 6. Capitalize titles of specific prominent individuals, but not their functions. Okay. So this you might find it tricky. Let's look at an example and I'll explain. All right, first of all, it says the president's speech was broadcast by multiple news networks. Why is the president capitalized? Well, it's a prominent title, a prominent individual. In this case, probably the president of the United States, okay? So both the writer and the reader know exactly who they're talking about. It's a prominent person, and they know exactly who that person is, okay? That's why it's the president. However, in this case, notice again, we're talking about presidents of the United States in general. That's why George Washington was the first president of the United States of America. In this case, the word president is not capitalized, right? We're not referring to the one, the special one that is sitting in the White House here today, okay? All right, so it is just his function as a president, not a particular person that we are addressing or referring to. All right, I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, just post them in the comments. Rule number 7, guys. Rule number 7. Ready? Capitalize words that indicate family relationships, but not when used with possessive adjectives. Okay, so okay, wait a second. Okay, family relationships, I think we understand that. But we don't capitalize them when we use them in conjunction with adjectives, possessive adjectives, like for example, my father, my mother, okay? So look at this example. Did you buy mom flowers for her birthday? Okay, so in this case, maybe a brother is talking to a sister to a brother, and they are talking about mom. Okay, mom is their mother, okay? And they know mom as mom, mother. So this case, the word mom has to be capitalized. However, in this case, we don't capitalize my father because it is used with a possessive adjective. All right, my father retired last year. Your father is still working, okay? But my father retired. Okay, I hope this is helpful. I hope this is helpful, guys. Let's move on to rule number 8. Capitalize specific holidays, names of holidays, days of the week, and months, but not seasons. Don't capitalize seasons. All right, I know it's confusing, but just try to bear with me. Here we go. There's a question. Why is Valentine's Day celebrated on February 14th? Well, in this case, Valentine's Day is capitalized because it's the name of a holiday. And notice it also includes the word day. Okay, that's the full name of the holiday. A similar thing would be happening with the Thanksgiving Day. Capitalize those holiday names. In this case, we see this summer, my science labs are scheduled on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So days of the week are capitalized, but not seasons. Okay, not this summer. All right, I hope that's clear. Next, rule number 9. You'll be glad we're almost done. Capitalize not directions, but these words, north, south, east, and west, okay? When you refer to them as a specific area, okay? We're talking about areas, but not when referring to a direction. So if you're talking about direction, don't capitalize them. Here's an example for you. Elizabeth came from a small town in the north. Okay, now the north, we're referring to an area of a country, okay? It's a specific area of that country that she came from, the north, right? She came from a small town in the north, okay? So it's a geographic location. However, in this example, we're talking about direction. So we have the airport is situated 10 kilometers north of the city. So we're talking about the direction. If you were to get to the airport, how can you get there? Well, you drive and you go north, and that is a direction. Okay, so it is situated 10 kilometers north of the city. Well, I hope this is not very confusing. And we are going to officially look at rule number 10. Rule number 10. Capitalize names of specific places and geographical locations. So that one is not that hard, actually, because we're going to talk about things like the Sahara Desert, or the Indian Ocean, or the Kilimanjaro, the mountain, the tallest mountain in Africa, the Nile, the longest river in Africa, and so on and so on. All these geographical locations will be capitalized, but also specific places, names of buildings, maybe even names of institutions and things like that. An example, the White House is one of the most iconic and easily recognizable buildings in the United States of America. Why is the White House capitalized? Because we're talking about the White House, not just any white house, okay? If you paint your house white, you have a White House. My house is white and it's not capitalized, but if you live in the White House, with capitalized White House, you are probably the United States president, okay? Another example, the Yangtze River is the longest river in Asia. Notice in this case, the river is also capitalized as it's part of the name. The Yangtze River is the longest river in Asia. In Asia, of course, the name of the continent is capitalized. Here we go. Wow, guys. You are in for a surprise, okay? Bonus rules. Okay, we're talking about basic rules for titles. Basic rules for titles. You know, because we can't talk about capitalization and not mention how we make titles. Titles of books, movies, plays, theater plays, things like that. Even essay titles, right? Well, what are the rules here? Well, you need to capitalize. When you're talking about titles, you need to capitalize all words except for articles. Okay, so words like a, an, the, okay? Definite articles, indefinite articles, we don't capitalize those. Also, we don't capitalize prepositions. Prepositions, in, of, for. So don't touch those. And short conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions. So for example, and, or but, or, okay? That's easy. I think that's easy. So what we're going to do now is look at some examples. Here's an example. And it's a classic movie, guys. Have you seen this movie? It's called Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Notice the preposition of and the article the are not capitalized. The rest is capitalized. And another title, The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. Okay, it's a book title. And notice the first word is capitalized, even though it's an article, the definite article, the, it is capitalized because it appears first. But a preposition of and the conjunction and are not capitalized, okay? All right. So that was the rules. That was the rules, guys. Now it is time for us to practice. So have you had a coffee? If not, grab one now. And if you like what this content, if you like what you're seeing here, you can also buy me a coffee. Check out the link right here. Right here. Check this link. You can buy me a coffee if you like what you see, to keep me going, to make more videos like this. Let's practice, guys. Let's put all these rules together. All right. So apply correct capitalization based on the rules that we just discussed and explain your answer. All right. Are you ready? Let's see. This is the incorrect version. I hear that John spent the entire weekend binge watching Star Wars. Okay. So look at this sentence. Obviously, there are several problems here. How would you correct it? If you want to type the correct answer in the chat, do that right now. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. What's happening? Okay, very cool. Okay, so feel free typing the correct answer. What's the correct answer here? Okay, there are several problems here. Of course, the first problem is I, okay, I, which we always capitalize when we refer to ourselves. Here's the answer, guys. I hear that John spent the entire weekend binge watching Star Wars. Okay, so we need to capitalize I, we need to capitalize John, and we need to capitalize the name of the movie series, Star Wars. And if that's the answer you got, very good. I'm glad you did. All right, stick with us for another example. Incorrect sentence, here we go. Job, Psalms, Proverbs, and Ecclesiastes are examples of wisdom literature found in the Bible. Okay, remember that rule about religious language? Yes, I think we already know the Bible will have to be capitalized, but also these are lists. This is a list of book titles, so we need to capitalize every one of them. Here's the answer. Job, Psalms, Proverbs, and Ecclesiastes are examples of wisdom literature found in the Bible. All right, how did you do that? How did you do, guys? If that's the answer you got, correct. All right, that's the correct answer. Let's move on to the next one. Ready? This is the incorrect version. We need to contact Professor Chen to discuss the presentation. All right, of course, the first letter we always capitalize of the first sentence, first word of the sentence. We need to capitalize that. However, what else do we need to capitalize here? Remember that rule about professional titles used with names? That's right. The correct answer to this one is we need to contact Professor Chen to discuss the presentation. Right. Both Professor and Chen, his name, his or her name, have to be capitalized. Right. That's great. Let's move on to the next example. Ready? The Royal Museum of the Arts is just 2 blocks south from here. Okay, we have several things going on here. We have the name of a specific museum, and we also have a location or a direction. Haha, which one is that, guys? Think about it. I'll give you a minute to think about it. How would you capitalize this sentence? Think about it. Okay, I'm not gonna give you a minute. I think you've done it. Okay, so let's see. The correct version is the Royal Museum of the Arts is just 2 blocks south from here. Okay, south is not capitalized because you are pointing to a direction. It is not an area of the city or area of a country, okay? It is just a direction. So we do capitalize the name of the museum, but we don't capitalize the direction. Okay, well, how did you do? Let's take another one. Here's the incorrect sentence. Please tell Dad that I will be home for Thanksgiving. Okay. What's the answer here? Well, I think you already know. We're talking about family relationships, okay? Family relationships. And this is, you're not saying my dad. It's the dad that you are referring to. Maybe you're talking to your sister on the phone, okay? You're calling home and you're saying to, hey, tell Dad that I will be home for Thanksgiving. There we go. Please tell Dad that I will be home for Thanksgiving. Another capitalized word is the holiday, Thanksgiving holiday. Right? How did you guys do? I hope you got it right.
That is correct.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Here's the incorrect version. My English courses are not going as well as my studies in chemistry. Okay. English courses are not going as well as my studies in chemistry. I think we already know. This one is probably easy. Okay, you capitalize the first letter of the first word. My English courses, of course, because they are related to language. And chemistry is not capitalized because it is just a name of a particular major. All right? Okay, I hope you did it right. I believe in you. Here we go. Let's do another one. The incorrect version is, I intend to take Introduction to Anthropology 101 and perhaps an elective course in communications next semester. Okay, so a student is making plans for taking some courses next semester. Well, we need to capitalize this sentence properly. The correct version is, I'll give you just a few seconds to think about it. And here is the answer. Ta-da! Yes, I intend to take Introduction to Anthropology 101. Okay, notice we have to capitalize the name of the course. Introduction to Anthropology, that's the title of the course because it's listed together with the number. But a course in communications, that is not capitalized because it's just an area of study. Yes. Okay, I hope you got that one right as well. Let's move on to another one. I will make you work hard today. Okay, here we go. The incorrect one is the library will be closed on New Year's Day. Okay, the library will be closed. Is it a specific library? Yeah, probably, but it doesn't have a name attached to it. Okay, what do we do with this one? Well, what about the name of the holiday? Yes! Oh, haha! I guess I made a mistake in my slides. The correct answer here is that the library will be closed on New Year's Day. So what we need to do is just capitalize New Year's Day. All right, guys. Sorry about that. My slides are wonky. One more. Here we go. As expected, Shakespeare in Love did really well at the Academy Awards. So we're talking about probably a movie title, right? I don't know if you've seen this movie. It's a good movie, Shakespeare in Love. And how did it do? It did really well at the Academy Awards. Well, here we have a couple of things going, which is the title of the movie, of course, the first letter of the first word, and the name of the celebration, Academy Awards. This is the correct version, guys. All right. As expected, Shakespeare in Love. Notice in love, in preposition, we don't capitalize that. Did really well at the Academy Awards. Excellent. Let's move on. There's one more. Well, during his televised address to the nation, the president briefly outlined the current economic challenges. Okay. What do we capitalize here? Well, I think the only one that stands out to me is the president. Okay, here we go. During this televised address to the nation, the president of the United States, okay, briefly outlined the current economic challenges. Right, okay. Not too hard, right? It's not too hard at all, I think. It's easy. Well, one more, guys. My mother will travel to South Korea in early September. All right, nice. Your mother has travel plans. Very good. Well, let's see how we can capitalize this sentence correctly. The correct version of this is my mother will travel to South Korea. The name of the country, of course. Now, why don't we capitalize mother? Well, because you're using it with a possessive adjective. My mother, okay? Therefore, it's not capitalized. But then, of course, September, the name of the month, is capitalized, okay? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got that one right. Right? Look at this one, guys. Peter grew up in the East, but at the age of 18, he moved to California. All right, so we have the word Peter, name. Of course, we would capitalize that. He grew up in the East. Now, is that a direction or a location? Yes, you've guessed it right. The correct answer is Peter grew up in the East, but at the age of 18, he moved to California. Notice we also need to capitalize California. California, right? Because it's a name of the state. And the East is capitalized because it's an area of the country, maybe the East Coast. He grew up in the East. All right, and then he moved west. If you said he moved west, it would not be capitalized because you're pointing to a direction. But if he moved to California, then you have to capitalize that. Here we go. Maybe that's my last one. I can't remember. Yes, it is, I think. Wow, here we have a whole bunch of words here we need to capitalize. Unicef is the short form of United Nations Children's Fund, which was established by the United Nations General Assembly on December 11th, 1946. Okay, so the first word, UNICEF, it's not a real word. It's called, it's an acronym, abbreviation, or an acronym, all right? And we need to capitalize it as well, right? As well as the name, the proper name of the organization. Okay, so quite a few words here to capitalize. Are you ready? UNICEF is the short form of United Nations Children's Fund. All of these words need to be capitalized, which was established by the United Nations General Assembly. Okay, those words need to also be capitalized. And of course, December, the name of the month, is capitalized as well. Well, that's exciting. All right, guys, I think you did really well. I think you deserve a big hand. Well done, well done. So now, guys, it's your turn. It's your turn. What we want to do... Yeah, okay, enough. You did well, but maybe not that well. Okay, it's your turn. Let's do... What I'd like you to do is, for your assignment, write a short paragraph about yourself. Okay, maybe where you grew up. Talk about some geographic locations. Maybe talk about the things you study to practice these rules of capitalization, all right? And leave your paragraph in the comments, and I will certainly give you feedback. All right, guys, very good. Thanks so much for joining us today. Please don't forget to subscribe this channel and like the materials. Share the videos with your friends, invite them here. Once again, let me just mention that we are on Twitch, on Facebook, and on YouTube. You can find me here. I'll try to post daily lessons. I also want to help you with all kinds of challenges that you may have as you are learning English, so that you can be confident and do much better. All right, guys. And if you have learned something today, don't forget, you can buy me a coffee. The link is right here, okay? And I'm looking forward to seeing you next time.